welcome to Stemless podcast. We have a very, very special guest today. He's a tattoo artist. Actually, one of my favorites. I found him on social media. Just looking, and I was like, oh, this is the guy we need to have here. Beautiful lines, beautiful work, a true artist. As you can see his work, he's not a copy and paste artist.
Thank you.
So I'll let him introduce himself, and then we'll move forward.
I am Jay from Luxe Tattoo, and I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful.
And Miss Nicole's here today, taking the hot chair. So professionally, you've been doing tattoos for 18 years.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about it. I know there's different types of tattoos and different lines and realistic.
I don't know if there's different types of tattooing is tattooing in my eyes. You could have a very simple tattoo, and if it's done right and placed right, it's a great tattoo. You could have like these epic fine art pieces, and if it's not easy to look at, it's still a good tattoo, but is it like a great tattoo? You know what I mean? There's so many aspects and what people find nice and not.
This is true.
You know.
What I find nice may not be what Nicole finds nice.
Yes, exactly.
Although she goes along with it in that sense.
So I've gotten lucky over the years to like do my thing, and people like what I do. Not everybody does, trust me. They tell you. But yeah, I've been blessed. Thank God. I was able to make a living doing it.
And you're local. You're right here in the Treasure Coast. You're
Yes.
located in Port St. Lucie. Where about in Port St. Lucie?
1359 Gatlin Boulevard.
Oh, you're right in Gatlin.
Yeah.
Easy to find.
I'm not even a mile from Tradition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's
Oh, you're
it's a
literally
great.
right there. I pass you every morning.
Actually, if you're on Savona, come up to Savona, and I'm like, make a left, and I'm kind of right there.
Nice.
You know
It's
where?
cute little plaza in there.
It is.
Yeah.
There's a nice deli in there, but they can do their own podcast.
Actually, I never tried it.
It's good. It's good.
But first, I'm gonna get my back tattoo. Maybe I'll have a sandwich. while-
Yeah,
while-
right. I'll get the sandwiches
that.
when I come in and watch. Try to get a tattoo.
She likes to watch me in pain. I don't know. Must be a fetish.
That that thing you sent me was pretty cool. I can geek out on that and do that. We'll just have to set a time.
Yeah, it's so it's an idea of what I want. So I basically took their ideas and put it all together.
No, and that's great, and that's kind
It's
of
hard to explain. You know, when you have a vision of a
it's
tattoo,
hard to. That's why I do consultations in person, even with you sending me that. And if I wasn't here, I would still say, "Hey, come to the shop and let's talk," because I want to see what kind of
Size you
person
up.
you are. Yeah, like, and a lot of times I could connect with that. Like I'm like, she wouldn't like that. She's not the type. And that's where I'll kind of use as my jump off and be like, oh, here's a design. What do you think? How close am I?
right?
And you could be like, I like that. I don't like that. And then we don't drag it on forever, but
Start
you know what I
finding
mean?
fine-tuning.
hopefully we can. I mean, in a perfect world, I can nail it the first time, or be like, it's happened where somebody will come in and they're like, well, that's not what I wanted, but I like it better. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
that's
then it's
great.
like, okay, cool. Because I'm gonna do what I think is cool, obviously. You
Right.
know what I mean?
But then you're the artist at the end of the day. Like, I will always respect the artist's opinion. A lot of people don't.
Well,
but
people come in and they're like, I want a sleeve. Okay, well, what do you want? What? And they're like, I don't know, just fill it up. And it's like,
oh,
so me, I mean, I like skulls, I like this, and,
Have you had people
And Grandma
just
will be like, I don't want that. No.
Have you literally had people just let you decide an entire piece?
It's not often,
Okay.
and it's
Oh, I'm
usually
sure.
it's usually clients that I've had for a long time.
Okay. That's
Who,
fair.
who like
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
But I did it when I had the printer done. I just picked that. But I was the spur of the moment. I saw tattoo convention. I was like, I'll just get that.
Yeah, and I think that's different how I run my shop too. Is everybody there, and it's a very open dialogue. I feel like it should be like a what's the word? Where you two people or
A combined effort?
yes, yeah, I think there's a word for it.
Collaboration.
That was
or-
pretty
Collaboration.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, look at you coming through.
Because then it's like some magic happens sometimes. You know what I mean? You might come in and be like, "What about that?" And I'll be like, "Oh, that is cool. Let's do that." You know, and a lot of times when I'm doing like larger scale pieces, say a sleeve or something like that, a lot of times the original design we agreed upon changes because it'd be like, oh, you know, you got this spot left here. Why don't we do that? Or you'll be like, you know, I was checking this out, and what if we put one of those in there?
It's true.
And it's like, okay, yeah, let's do that. So it's very organic,
It is.
you know.
But
and
that's the beauty of it, though, because
That's how I
becomes
prefer to
like
work.
this little flower becomes into this bouquet of
Yeah.
beautiful
Yes,
flowers.
and I prefer to work that way rather than but you know it depends on the client. Sometimes the client wants this how it is, or how they saw it.
Right.
You know, while they were researching tattoos, or you know what I mean. And that's the cool thing, and the bad thing about being a tattoo artist now. I don't even consider myself a tattoo artist. I consider myself a tattooer because artists are. I know some artists.
Be very modest.
You can't really make
Yeah.
a living tattooing and being an artist unless you figure it out. I don't want to say that. Whoever's watching.
No offense.
You can be an artist and make money tattooing if you're on that level.
Right.
The majority of things you're going to tattoo are not, art. I don't
Like a painting. You're
everything is not your white album or your, you know what I mean? Like you're gonna do 100 names,
Oh, sure.
and then you're gonna get to do that one cool drawing you came up with that you've been wanting to tattoo
Yeah.
for a long time, and not have to sell your soul to tattoo it on somebody. You know what I mean? Somebody's gonna come in and be like,
Yeah.
I want that, and I want to pay for it too. You know,
Mm.
and that's when it's like, okay, this is kind of worth it doing this. You know.
Yeah.
It makes
This is
it
why you
look
got
easy.
into it, right? This is the love of it when you really get to do some great piece.
When you
I've
freelance,
always
rather
loved
than
it.
going into the shop and opening the book. When you get your
We don't
first
even have
book.
books anymore.
Wow, what is
Yeah.
it, an iPad?
Well, I mean, we have portfolios on Instagram and stuff like that. So, but like
The
everything,
world has changed. Nicole. I'm
Yeah.
behind the ball here.
I mean, if you come in for a project, we're gonna do it from scratch.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's
An artist.
well, I think that's one direction the industry is going, to where it's so polar opposite now. It's either these custom large or Pinterest.
Sure.
You know, and like we were just talking, 90% of it is going to be Pinterest, and then you'll get that one. And I've been lucky.
I'm gonna
Like I
read
said,
that
about
when you do my back piece.
18 years into it, I'm finally able to. People are starting to come to me for what I do or
It catches
what I've
your eye.
done. You know,
It caught
I
my
still
eye.
have people come in and they're like, "Can you do this?" And it's like an infinity symbol, and I'm like, "Well, did you look at my stuff? Yeah, but I didn't see any on there. I'm like,
That's-
you know, and it's like, okay, well,
The Chronicles
I
of a
could do
Tattoo
it.
Artist, right?
yeah, but I'm really, my goal is to do the cosmetics thing, and I really like to do more portraits. I love doing portraits.
Portraits are very hard. Just by looking, no? If you look at
They're hard
somebody's
to, you
arm
want
or
to
piece.
capture, you want to capture the essence. Yeah, the eyes. I know people that do them great. I know people that don't do them great. And I think if you don't do them great, you shouldn't even do them.
No, because they look like
You can't
Chucky.
just be a
they look
person.
like Chucky.
You
Yeah.
have to capture the
You have to capture the soul.
yeah.
You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Yes.
And
You
a lot
wanna
of
have a
times
feeling.
it's a lot of stress because sometimes it's mom who lost her son,
Ooh,
and you're like,
gotta
if
nail
I
these.
fuck this up,
And you have to capture it for
Sorry.
her, not for you,
Right.
right?
So
Yeah, for
right?
her. Yeah, it's not about me
it's-
at all.
Exactly.
I'm just
so
the guy who's
you
putting
have
it
to
on.
make that for the person that yeah.
yeah, it's when it gets that deep. I don't think any tattoo is about me. I'm just the guy that puts them on you. But when you get on that level, it's like,
Pressure's on you.
damn, like I can't screw this up, you know. And luckily, I don't know if I've ever really screwed them up. I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
I think
mom,
you would
I think
know.
a mom will definitely tell you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Definitely.
and
Like,
there
"Oh,
are
this doesn't
ways.
look like my child.
That would be the worst thing I
Oh
could
my
ever hear. I would quit. I'd quit.
This is
I'd be
not
like,
for
this,
me.
I can't do this anymore. Because now you took that such a sensitive thing, and now you even made it even worse. You know, so.
So,
And it's even that deep with pets.
Oh yeah.
oh, that's Kevin's tattoo.
Like I do a lot of pet portraits, and it's like, if you,
I think that's harder than a human portrait, isn't it?
I don't know. It's still on the same level. If it's that deep where you're getting your dog or
The
cat
emotions.
tattooed on you,
Yeah, like drawing it. I mean, like tattooing it. It's more difficult to do a facial expression or a dog expression.
I think they're about the same, I guess.
Because almost all dogs look alike. How do you make them?
Well, a lot of portraits, the same rules apply to doing a portrait too. You know, depending on the lighting, depending on shadows act the same way on your face as they're going to do on her face. You know what I mean? So you got to make that. You know, the building blocks of a portrait are pretty cut and dry. Eyes, nose, mouth. If they're off, everything's off. But if you get them right, then it's just more finesse, about finesse, and like pulling it together and not making it look like, you know, like
Chucky.
blocky. You know, you want smooth lines, you want those.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some guys that do it so good that it's like, gosh, man.
It's incredible.
You know what I mean?
Portraits
Yeah.
are it's at another level there.
But I honestly don't hate doing anything. You know, I like all kinds of tattoos.
But now you want to get more into the cosmetic.
Honestly, and
no
probably don't want to
eyebrows.
say that.
Cosmetic,
No,
like
I would
eyebrows
do
too?
that. Yeah, I actually have somebody that does them in my shop. Yeah. That stuff, I think, is more just
Money work.
yes.
Filler work.
Yeah, like, you know,
Not that it's not important, but it's
it's
not like,
important, but it's not important to me.
Yeah, right.
You know,
More artistic work would be like nipples
yes.
for women that have gone through breast cancer.
Yeah, well, even if it's that, or
Or even if it's just a little jagged up from your surgery.
yeah, or some women have come in for, they don't want the nipple, they want a nice cool like floral design. You know what I mean? Just something so where it's not a manic. You don't
Dress
look like
up
a
the
mannequin.
nipples.
Sure.
Nicole
Yeah.
wanna do that.
You know, and it's a mind thing. it's a mental thing. It's more of like,
It's
I
like
don't
you're
know,
missing
like
it.
if you cut off a guy's dick or something,
Right.
he's
be
still gonna be a
dickless.
man, but he's not gonna
Yeah.
feel like a man.
Sure.
probably.
You'll feel
Or
like shit.
you know, so I think it's more mental like that, to where like you feel complete
Like you lost
as a woman or something. You know, like
Right.
and that's very, if you can accomplish that, that's super satisfying as somebody who's putting him on.
You give somebody almost like their soul back.
Yeah,
Because you lose part of
Yeah,
as a
because
woman,
I
you
noticed,
lose
like I
your
said, like
womanhood, right?
women will come in and like it's like, okay, let's, and like a guy taking their shirt off. But as soon as you put nipples on them, it's like, oh my god, I gotta cover up.
That's amazing.
You know, and it's like, wow.
Psychologically.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
psychological part of
So-
this.
Oh, wow.
I would love to do more of that and really break into that.
There's not many people that do that.
No.
It's not a very
No.
common trade.
No, like I said, most times if it's kind of built into the whole procedure through the whoever, you know, team of surgeons you go.
Mm-hmm.
They have a team of like, okay, here's the guy who's going to do the surgery, here's the guy who's going to do the implants, here's the guy who's going to do the nipples on you afterwards, and it's very much a medical procedure.
So it's not
You know what I mean?
hysterically.
Yeah, it's not.
appealing.
They probably do how many of them?
Oh, Jesus.
You know, unfortunately.
Right.
So to them, it's a job. Like let me just do this, and, you know,
How did they do it?
tattoo.
Oh, but it's in and out.
It's
It's not gonna have the little.
no, it's
The
pretty
little
bad.
bumps
Yeah,
around
you
it. It's
want
not gonna look hard.
you want to give the effective textures and stuff like that. Because then in a photograph or
It becomes
while you're
real.
visually, you're not going to tell the difference.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It blows my mind.
Amazing, yeah.
yeah, it's cool.
Amazing.
Like that's very satisfying to do. But they're all, you know, everything is.
And
If you find satisfaction in it, everything is satisfying.
well, nipples are very satisfying on their own. I'm just saying. Who doesn't like
against
nipples?
I'm not against them.
So what would be some other things like scar camouflage?
Camouflaging is that's a slippery slope because
Okay.
you can accomplish it through tattooing, but it's really more of a esthetician side of things.
Okay.
And when you get in there, then you need different licensing and stuff like that. I could do, as a tattooer, I could do certain things, like I could never call myself like a med spa,
Sure.
because you need medical oversight. But I can do certain other things, like I can do microneedling.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Piercing?
piercing.
Okay.
Piercing is a separate license.
Oh.
Like I couldn't pierce with just a tattoo license. I have
Okay.
to have a piercing license.
Oh, that's
Okay.
interesting.
But in your shop, salon, business, you could,
I could do microneedling. I could do permanent makeup. I could do microblading. I can do lip blush. I could do like all that stuff.
okay.
Wow.
Because it still falls under the tattoo.
Tattoo licensing.
Once you start getting into like camouflaging and to where you're like, I'm not even sure how it works 100%. You're actually like flattening out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Right, yep.
So you need to use
Certain tools.
Fillers or
Yes, different
something,
things, and-
yeah.
in order for me to use them, I would need to be licensed to use them.
That makes sense.
So I could do the visual stuff. I can't get down to like actually changing.
But you can cover a scar. If
Oh,
someone has
absolutely.
a scar.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if
yeah.
it's white or
Yeah,
maybe
and
darker.
honestly, a lot of times things just happen organically to where like if I tattoo over a scar, sometimes it might flatten out. You know what I mean? It all depends.
Yeah.
I can't
Can't
guarantee
promise,
you that.
but-
Sure.
If you walked in and were like flattening my scar, I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah.
What?
You're
What
in
do
the
you
wrong
mean?
place.
Yeah.
Flying you. What?
Um,
Aquí the burritos.
so that was always something I kicked around as well. But I'm not into there. I think there still needs to be some ethics to it, as far as like, and I noticed with these med spas and clinics, and I think they trade off some of sales for maybe ethics. I'm not in business, so I won't talk about it.
So tell me what has been the most crazy, wild experience that sticks out in your career as a tattoo artist?
I can't tell you the craziest stuff.
After Hours podcast, subscribe.
I don't know. There's always some crazy stuff going on. Whether it's people you meet or situations you find yourself in, people you work with. Yeah, I got stories. I can't put people on blast.
That's funny.
How about it?
And the podcast is done.
So loud.
Barely. No, but as far as like tattoos,
Like wild tattoos. Like,
yeah, there's always like.
you go like, oh, what do you mean you want that? Weird.
Yes, that's happened a few times. A lot of times it's like bros that like lost a bet, you know, and they come in and they're like, oh, we gotta do this. Or, that's kind of the extent it gets to now. There's a few times where like, I don't know if I can say it, like things like that. Like I've tattooed an inside of a lip.
Yeah.
I'll go there. With a guy's
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that's when I was young in my career, where I thought, like, I have to do this stuff.
Right, you're still fresh.
Don't even come to me for that now. Like, I won't do it.
That's wild.
And it was like, the guy, they probably just met.
Oh
You know?
my goodness.
It's one of those, like,
So you're like, are you sure you want this?
So that was one situation that kind of hangs around, unfortunately, but yeah, I don't think there's that much craziness that goes on anymore. There were a time where tattooing was a counterculture thing,
Yeah, well,
and
that's
counterculture individuals like gravitated to that. That's when there was like some stuff going on, whether it be.
It was almost like groupies back in the day, right?
Yeah, there's
It's
still.
like you had the tattoo artists, but now more people have tattoos. It's become more of a common thing. Like almost
Yes.
like who doesn't have
So
one?
mainstream.
Well, now, yeah, it's so mainstream now, which is good because it opens you up to a whole new market. But bad because people who remember it, I think they have fond memories of when it was a little underground. I think I got my first tattoo at 16.
My goodness.
And I was still in high school, and I walked around like I was gonna kick the shit out of everybody. You know what I mean? Now it's like you gotta tattoo your face in order, and that's not even
To
like,
make that shock.
yes, and that's not even shocking anymore.
No,
Right.
everybody, almost
It's
a lot
like-
of people,
Yeah.
it's like it's a thing.
So there was an innocence about it, which was cool.
It made it mysterious, right?
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
it was
you
like,
have a
oh man,
tattoo,
that guy's
let
got
me
a
see.
tattoo. He's probably tough. Like
It's a
stuff like that.
badass.
Mm-hmm.
Now, probably complete opposite. I can tell you, I can't sit through a tattoo anymore. It hurts. I'm not tough at all.
Been there, done that.
It was the same way when you were young, I don't know if you ever did, but like you smoke a cigarette because you thought you were cool.
Right, yeah.
And I think that there was a time when it equated to getting a tattoo equated to being a little rough, and that went away. And that's kind of sad. But at the same time, like I said, open up the market for, I tattoo the biker, and then my next appointment could be mom and daughter. And they could, in my shop, they could sit next to each other and be comfortable.
Which is wild to see, right? Because you, like I said, 20 years ago.
There's still shops that aren't like that.
Well, yours is it looks like a spa. It's very aesthetic.
And that's what I was trying to do. Like, I didn't want a traditional tattoo shop. I wanted a.
It's beautiful.
I didn't want, like, flash hanging on. Like.
Inviting to everybody on.
Well, no, not only that, because I hope everybody comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's welcoming to everybody. It's not just like it could be the biker guy, it could be the soccer mom. Mm-hmm. It's a welcoming.
But I didn't want to give off that vibe of it's just another tattoo shop.
It makes it pretty.
Yes, and it opens me up to be able to do, like, say, some of this cosmetic stuff. You know what I mean? To where, like, if you were a woman coming in for a service like that, you're not going to come into, there's music playing, but it's not like, having guys don't blow in the bathroom and, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's.
Back in the day, so I forgot my tattoo. That's what made it like, oh shit, I'm getting a tattoo. I'm gonna go to this tattoo shop.
Right.
It was cool.
And I don't know if you remember, like, I remember getting tattooed.
No, I was in a lady's basement.
Oh, snapped. She was more hardcore than I am.
Well, I remember.
We're going to talk about redoing it here.
Okay. I remember when I started getting tattooed and going to tattoos, like studios. They weren't even studios at the time, they were shops. There were snakes, cages, and they stunk. And it was like, what is this? And you were afraid of those guys. Like, you were afraid of that guy.
I have tattoos,
it was like
piercings everywhere.
Now I got, like, 18-year-old girl coming in, and she's like, this is what I want. And it's like, okay, I'll do that for you. You did that 20 years ago, 30 years ago?
Get the fuck out
of
my shop.
Get the fuck out of my shop. Yeah,
Different. But we live over, like, our younger generation now is completely different than when I used to be that age. You were more, they feel more entitled.
Yeah,
like, I'm here, I'm gonna pay you, so this is what you're gonna do for me.
Yes, and a lot of it is very shallow. Their reasoning behind things is very shallow.
It's called Instagram.
Yes, they want to show it off.
Or social media.
Right.
Social media, Instagram is a big one. TikTok is a big one.
Agreed, but social media in general.
Mm-hmm. And, for me to complain about it, I'm just going to sound like an old dad.
No.
It's either you kind of stay kind of parallel with it, or you totally discount it, or you totally get involved in it. And my view as a middle-aged guy, people don't want to see me doing that. People don't want to see me, like, on TikTok. You know what I mean? And I can't be totally against it because now I'm alienating so much of a market. So I got to kind of try to stay in step with it without...
Getting too deep.
Yeah, or offending anybody, or, whatever it may be. Because a lot of people get offended these days, but for certain things.
I get offended because I have dreadlocks, so it's okay.
What?
Because then look at their face. Are you Spanish? Are you black? I'm Gretta. Nice to meet you.
Yep,
yeah, who cares?
Who
cares? This is what I mean. Like,
my name is Gretta, so this is it.
And that's a lot of reason I stay off social media, because everybody thinks whatever they have to say is so fucking important. And it's like, it's not. It's not. Unless you're curing cancer.
Amen.
Or you're doing this,
Amen.
or you're doing that. Shut your mouth.
Right.
God, I'm probably pissing off
No, it's fine. No,
It's
that's
fine.
so true.
It is true.
And what you are willing to type with keyboard courage, could you say it to that person's face?
Yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Hopefully not.
well, there was a time where I was like, I try to fight it, but it's a lost cause.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna stay in my lane.
Let's go with the flow.
99% of things, 100% of things, hold no water in my world. So it's like, why should I even
Yeah.
rent space in my brain for it? Hold it in, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because a lot of people talk, especially in this business.
Oh, in every business. It's cutthroat.
Yeah, tattooing though is like, it should be a community.
Right?
It is not. It is. They will cut your throat in a heartbeat.
It's every industry though. You think, so I also breed dogs, so breeding industry is the same.
Yeah.
Bodybuilding is the same, personal training. So you think that if we all work together, it'll be great. I'm not competing with you.
Well, I saw that.
Family.
I'm not very much into bodybuilding, as you can tell. But what is it with this weighing people? Who gives a shit? I don't know if you the conventions. People will show up with a scale and be like, "You say you're this weight. Wait, how much you weigh?"
They do that with dogs too. Because you say
Really?
you're in line, your dog weighs 120 pounds. You gotta prove it.
Who cares?
Why?
Wow.
Why? Some people are shallow-minded.
But this is coming from colleagues in the industry.
Yeah.
And they're just doing it to try to make themselves look better, I guess.
And make the person look bad if he's lying on Instagram or he's not.
There were instances over my career where, I've left the shop or was asked to leave the shop. And then people who I spent hours and hours with every week, who I thought were friends of mine, I'd have clients come in and be like, "Oh, I got tattooed down there or here," and they would just talk shit about you the whole time. And I'm like, yeah, there was a time where that kind of got to me, but I want to say every time that happened, the person that was telling me was like, it made me so uncomfortable that I wanted to leave. So it was like, you might be trying to make me look bad, but indirectly you're just doing it to yourself, And I think that's what I've learned over the years. I'm just gonna make myself look bad.
I can do a really good job on my own.
Yes, I can do it all on my own.
sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, I just kind of whatever. Say what you want, do what you want.
People will end up finding out who you are at the end of the day. So.
Well, I hope I hope it's and it comes down to what I was saying before. There was a time where you kind of held some clout as a tattooer. Clients thought you were cool, and they wanted to be your friend, and there's still those people out there. So they will try to be your friend by, you know what I mean? And it's like a fucking soap.
By talking trash about others, yeah.
Or recently there was a guy getting tattooed in my shop who was harassing one of the girls. Not over the top, but just, Enough. Yeah, I think if it's not reciprocated or welcomed, I think that it shouldn't happen.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if it was at the point in time it was happening. I don't know if it was addressed, but it was addressed after the fact that the guy left and he wasn't welcome anymore. Well, he thinks he can write reviews about my shop.
He's one of those.
And am I gonna? And can I have cameras? I have cameras in my shop. I could be like, you want me to put the video up of why you're not allowed in my shop anymore? and why you think my shop is unprofessional or whatever it may be. But I'm like, you know what?
Let them be bitter, because people will see that too. Like when you go review, you read them, and there's like that one. Oh, he probably got it. He probably did something wrong. The next one is a good one. The next one is a good
Yeah,
one.
if you look at my reviews, I have a lot of reviews. I have some bad ones. 2, I think, 2 or 3. They're all me. They're not my artists. And it has nothing to do with tattooing.
You can't please everyone.
Yeah, sometimes you don't jive with people.
Yep,
That's
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
And you
100%.
have to, you know, you're going into something where you're going to be spending hours and hours and hours closer than we are right now
Right.
with somebody.
Potentially multiple times.
Well, yeah,
Correct.
Sometimes a
Potentially,
lifetime.
depending on the.
you know, it's a very intimate kind of thing. And if I don't like you or you don't like me, it's going to be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I could still I can be professional about it and do my job, but why? I'm not even gonna go there in the first place.
No,
So I try to be, you know, hey, listen, maybe I'm not the guy for you.
that's
Yeah.
exactly why the first consultation is so important. They people, you talk to them on the phone, see their social media. Can you come by tomorrow morning? Let me see what my schedule looks like. And see if the personalities flow, because even personal training is very intimate. You're with that person for an hour, 3-4 times a
Yes.
week, and if
Yeah.
you don't like them, or if they don't like you,
Yes.
it makes it
And,
very uncomfortable. So you better, you know what?
you know, and there's a personal responsibility for you as a professional to be like, well, they're paying for a service. I have to provide the service.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also your prerogative to be like, I don't want to work with you in the first place.
I've done it.
Yeah. And people get kind of salty about that.
Yeah, we do. But, you know, here's your money back, and I'm probably not the person for you. And I don't think you're ready to do training right now. So,
No, and see, I have a no refund policy on deposits. I usually give them back if I want to.
have a good day.
You know what I mean? If it's on your end, you're shit out of luck.
Right.
Yeah, perfect example, a few weeks ago, I had somebody come in and drop a deposit. Now, it was a small deposit for a pretty elaborate piece. And in the consultation, I said, listen, I'm not doing a full rendering because you only gave me this much money. If you want me to do a full rendering, it's going to cost you money. And then it's going to cost you more money for me to tattoo you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, day of the appointment. Well, what is this? Well, this is my rendering. What I need to tattoo you. Not what you need to know. It's what I need to know. Well, I want to know what it's going to look like finished. Well, you're either going to have to get the tattoo or pay me more money.
Right, because it's hours of your time sitting there.
Yeah. I mean, and this is, I booked my day. This is my whole day. I booked out for that. So now your little deposit that you left doesn't cover my time, my day.
I don't even cover your life now.
Ooh.
Wow.
So, you know, it's shit like that kind of is the
good, the bad, and
thorn
the ugly.
in my side of the business, as probably with any business. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of people still think tattooing is like beneath. You know, they're like acceptable professions. You know what I mean? Like, so they come in, they're like, what do you mean you're not gonna fucking do that for me? You know what I mean? It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like,
I could totally see people saying that.
you know, some people still feel that way about the tattoo industry. Like, you're below a standard of
I've never
you
felt
know.
like that.
No, but there are people, and I'm not saying
But it's
a
true,
lot
though.
of people.
Even in this industry, there's a lot of people that look at personal trainers like, you're my servant. No, I'm not. I'm
Yes,
your
yes.
trainer. There's
Exactly.
a line.
There is a some people have this thing like,
I'm paying you, okay, yeah, and
Yeah.
I pay a lot of money to learn what I did,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it works both ways.
but I think that's just people like that will be like that with anything,
They're just
not
rude.
just in
They're rude people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
So I'm
not
gonna
all-
pass the
it's not
mic to
all-
Nicole.
What would you tell your 20-year-old self?
I don't know. 20-year-old me was so bad. Probably all this shit won't mean anything in 20 years.
That's good. It's so true, isn't it?
It is.
What
It
you
is.
worry about when you're that age or
Yeah.
everything, it's all gonna work out and it doesn't matter
Uh-huh.
20 years later.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I had fun,
That's good.
but
You're only young
there was,
once.
there were things that you think won't ever change, and they do. I tell my kids that, like, cause, well, my oldest he's about to go to high school. And I'm like, dude, trust me. Even though this is important to you right now, and this does mean so much to you right now, it's not going to in 5 years.
You won't even remember it, right?
No.
You won't even remember
So
this worry.
be in it, enjoy it. Maybe you'll be able to take things with you.
Mhm.
But if you don't, that's okay.
Yeah. Are you a person that asks for permission or begs for forgiveness?
I would say ask. Are we talking about my wife? I would say I'd have to ask for permission.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. We're gonna go with that.
Smart man.
Yep, exactly. Do you have a favorite TV show or something you like to binge or something you're
Ghost
watching right
Adventures.
now? Ghost Adventures.
Yeah, I'm a big ghost guy.
Really?
Yeah, I love ghosts.
Have you been to the Ghost Walk in Hope Sound?
No, but I did a couple in St. Augustine.
Ooh.
Never saw a ghost, but I'm sure they're out there.
They do it at the Fish House Art Center right here in Hope Sound.
They have one in Hope
Yeah,
Sound?
there's a big sign. They do it like, I don't know if it's every week or every 2 weeks.
Really?
They do a ghost
Ooh.
walk. We should do it.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Oh, interesting.
I-
Do you believe you've ever seen a ghost or felt a ghost?
You know what? I hope if my kids aren't gonna watch this, I think my house I'm in right now is haunted.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've seen things. The dogs have seen things.
Mm-hmm. So do you live in an older home, like a historical?
No, but
home?
there was something that happened in the home prior to
Okay.
me, and I think that might have something to do with it. It's not a evil entity or anything like that. It's not harmful. I think it's just I catch it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And people are probably like, "This guy's."
You think it's a man or a woman?
It's a man. I know it.
Really?
I know it's a man. Yeah.
Have you seen him?
I haven't seen him personally.
But you
I've
felt
seen
his
things.
presence.
So the first time it kind of happened was I had an elliptical machine in my garage, and it was one of those machines that didn't turn on until you actually stepped on it and started to like
Mm-hmm.
ellipticate
Sure.
or whatever. Randomly, I went out into the garage. I opened the door, and the machine stopped. And I'm like, "What the hell?" And I was like, maybe my kids were on it or something, like, because my little guy used to like step on it. But no, they weren't out in the garage. Like they were. I don't even know if they were home, honestly.
Oh my goodness.
And then my son would say some things sometimes about seeing something that lived in my bedroom, which I was like, what? And then actually just this morning, I have a dog that maybe he's just over alert. I have a Dutch Mal mix, and he was chasing something today.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, what is he looking at? You know? And who knows?
Sure.
You
But
know?
don't they even say kids are more in tune, or they have less?
I know dogs are.
Yeah.
I know
agreed.
dogs can sense things. But like I said, it's not a it's not a bad vibe. It's like I think it's the old owner, honestly, who is just there.
Sure.
You know.
That's pretty interesting.
Interesting.
But I totally 100% believe in ghosts.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's some.
Did you have a nickname growing up, or maybe still have, or have a nickname now?
No, not really. In high school, some friends called me Lennon.
Okay.
Because I had like long hair and these glasses.
Oh, really?
So like, they like John Lennon.
Right.
And then one person was like, Lennon, I thought you were like Russian or something. You know, like I'm like, no.
Are you originally from this area?
No.
Where'd
I
you
was
grow
born
up?
in New Jersey. Moved to the Poconos,
Oh,
and then from there I moved here.
okay. So has your shop always been in Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually didn't start tattooing until I was in Florida, living with them.
Okay. Oh, well, here's one for you. Would you rather spend a week in the forest or a night in a haunted house?
Oh man, that's such a hard. Do I have to choose?
Yeah.
Can I do both?
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, so I think nature is medicine.
Okay.
I honestly would have to go with the week in the woods. I mean, am I stuck in the woods? Like lost in the woods? Or am I like,
It's okay.
What am I doing?
am I there
in
on
the woods?
purpose?
What is going on in the woods?
Like, is it a nice, like a retreat? Or is
No,
it
no.
like I'm lost? Oh my god.
No. I just
Yes.
drop you in the woods and I say I'll be back in a week to get you. I mean, kind of
See,
naked
that
and
kinda
afraid
be-
with clothes.
Yeah, that would still kind of be cool. I don't think my survival skills are up to par
Okay.
to where like I might be able to like feed myself or
Right.
drink water for a week. So I'd probably have to go with the house.
Okay.
How many tattoos you have?
Yeah, there's
Then.
No idea.
2. One on that
Enough.
arm and one on that arm.
Enough.
Let's go how many sleeves I have.
Yeah.
That make it easier.
I'm
How
actually-
many hours worth of work do you have? Or you think you have?
Oh.
Hundreds.
Probably not, because I was still getting tattooed when things were a little bit simpler.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
tattoos didn't take as long, I guess. But maybe not so much depth into them.
Mhm.
But I know I have some hours for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I started getting tattooed and I got my first one in 1993.
Let's talk about years. How many years of tattoos you have instead of
Yeah,
hours?
probably
Oh my
Over
goodness.
30.
Oh.
Over 30 years.
Wow. Wow. You can only eat one thing the rest of your life, and it could be a meal. But
One thing?
one thing, what would it be?
Cheese.
Ooh, yummy. I love cheese. I can eat cheese all day out of the refrigerator.
I
I'll
just
go in
bought
there.
some cheese at the Tradition Market there. They have that outdoor market. There's a cheese guy there. Cheese, yeah.
That
So
sounds-
good. Do you have a favorite one? Like, do you like them real?
I like them sharp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Sharp, dry. I like
Yeah.
a dry cheese.
Okay, now I'm hungry.
Yeah. Actually, Boar's Head makes a Canadian aged cheddar that is kind of expensive, so you don't really go and buy it. But a friend of mine who actually, he would give me them, and that's how I discovered it. Canadian cheese.
Now that's
Sounds
a friend.
weird. Yeah.
That's a really good friend right there.
Exactly.
And I was like, this is the best cheese that you can buy at the supermarket.
Right.
You know, but I dabble in like some artisan cheeses and stuff like that. I really like cheese.
What motivates you to work hard?
I don't know. Because I think deep down I'm lazy. I think I was raised with a pretty strong work ethic. So I think my ordinary might be a little bit more than somebody else, and even in this day and age. I think giving my kids a decent life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, that's probably what keeps me working harder.
Sure.
I mean, motivation is you have to live. But to work harder, yeah, giving them things, experiences, video games, whatever.
Whatever it is at the
Skins.
moment.
Fortnite skins. That's all I work for is Fortnite skins.
Who's your hero? Or do you have a hero?
I don't.
Okay.
Closest would be probably my grandfather,
Okay. That's great.
who basically is where I got my work ethic from.
Mm-hmm.
As far as heroes, my father-in-law is a pretty heroic guy. You know?
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, those are great heroes. Describe your perfect day.
Breakfast. Some cheese. I like being in the woods.
Okay.
Hiking, camping. My perfect day, it depends on the day. It could be a day by myself. It could be a day with my family.
Sure.
Depends on how my kids are acting.
How many kids do you have?
I have 2.
Okay.
But it would involve being out in nature. Or I really enjoy like going to the flea market.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's kind of cool to me, walking around and
Sure.
going through things.
Yeah.
The flea market.
It's like a treasure
Yeah.
hunt.
I
right?
love the flea market.
Yeah,
here.
this one I come to, it's starting to get better like during season.
Yes.
Cat or dog person?
Dog. I do like cats too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have anything on your bucket list?
The bucket list or the bucket list?
A bucket list. This is why we have to edit so much.
No, it's fine.
Man, I don't know. I don't.
Do you want to jump out of planes?
No.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's like a hard no. Nope.
I would like. I mean, I really want a ranch. I wanna live on a ranch. That would probably be on my bucket list. That would probably be my bucket list. Like,
With
this would
all
take
kinds
all my
of animals?
resources.
Or not
I
so
don't wanna
much,
go. I don't want to
just-
go crazy.
Okay, but just out amongst nature.
Yeah, I
more
don't think
than-
I could send like. I might have a cow to milk.
Sure.
I wouldn't
Some
send like.
chickens,
Make
maybe
your own
for some
cheese?
eggs.
Yeah, make my own cheese.
Ooh.
I couldn't like have livestock
Okay.
to like send off to the butcher.
I'll keep them all.
Yeah,
can
I
do
would
that.
just have some chickens to like get eggs and. Yeah, it wouldn't be a working range.
Okay.
It would just be like a
Yeah.
cool place to be.
enjoy the nature part. Dream vacation.
Going to a ranch.
He's built his own dream resort.
Dream vacation. Wow. I've never even thought about this stuff.
Really? We're expanding your,
Horizons.
yeah.
See, I don't think anymore so much when it comes to like questions like this, or not that I even think. It's like, okay, not me.
Mhm.
Like, where would have been a cool place to go for my family, or
Sure,
you know.
and that can be, it can be where you would go with a family or whatever.
The thing with that is, like, we live kind of in a vacation.
Oh my
zone.
goodness,
Like-
absolutely.
Like even with Disney and all that, it's like I can't stand it. Like that's not my thing. My kids love it, you know. Honestly, my personal dream vacation would probably be maybe like South America, in the jungle somewhere, like
Right.
something like that.
Right.
I like culture. I like music. I like art. I think like Europe would probably be just different parts of Europe would be cool to go to.
Mhm.
I would like to go to like London and see like how people live there, like trendy, like
Right.
fashion type stuff and stuff. You know, I think
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're on a plane, are you a window or aisle seat?
I'm a window if I can get it, but I could care less.
Okay. All right, last one. I mean, most important one. Is it ever acceptable to double dip at a party?
No, never.
Thank you.
It's never acceptable.
We can be friends. Cheese and no double dipping.
You can't even
Yes,
touch the cheese.
This has been
you
successful.
can't touch the cheese platter with your bare fingers.
Right.
You have to use a toothpick.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no, definitely not acceptable.
Yeah. That's great. Well, we really appreciate you coming.
Thank you for
Tell
having me.
us where we can find you. Do you have your Instagram handle maybe, or an
Yeah,
email?
my Instagram
or
is
the business name?
well, you can either or Luxe Tattoo FL or no Luxe Tattoo Studio. I don't know, Luxe Tattoo.
Luxe Tattoo in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Right
My
off the corner.
personal is J Kowalski Tattoo, JAY, and then the shop is 1359 Southwest Gatton Boulevard, Port St. Lucie. Phone number is
We'll put it on there. I'll look it up. And
it's
we'll put it on there.
207-7448. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
We don't think of our numbers and
No,
No, I don't
absolutely.
think
You never call it,
I
right?
have to do a double think. Hold on a second. What's my
I'm
phone?
pretty sure that's what it is. And yeah, 12 to 9, 12 to 10 Friday and Saturday. Come on in.
Wonderful.
CJ.
Yes.
Wonderful. It's been a pleasure. We appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for having me.